All right, welcome for round 2 of the starter install. So I just definitely want to appreciate you checking out all my, so far one of my videos and now my second video of the Headfirst Hotrodders. And do my shirts get tighter throughout the videos? I don't know, but just wanted to continue off with where we left off on yesterday, is getting that install on the starter. To recap, there's the issue on the bolts underneath. So why don't we just put a pause for a second and I'll climb under there. So hang tight. Okay, so to recap, this is what we're battling. We got a helicoil thread here, and you got this busted dog ear right here. And as you can see, one of the modifications is I've got this bolt that comes up through the top to help re-bolt that up. So that's actually part of the problem of why the starter keeps re-shimming or pitching sideways, that it hits against the flywheel, either against the tooth here and the armature doesn't grab these teeth. So you just want to make sure that when it's bolted up, in this case scenario, is not only that, but that this bolt is right in the center of being lined up. Because if this is pitched one way or the other, oh, watch your face, one side or the other, you are going to have a stripped helicoil again. See how there's room there? So that's one of the biggest battles about this hole being drilled out, because even before I got ownership of this vehicle, this hole is quite used up, worse than prom night, right? So we are going to install, I've already ran this bolt once, making sure that it's lined up and ready to install, and then I'm just going to put that starter in, put the camera down, show you the results of what I get. Okay, I'm feeling really good about this repair. Bolts torqued really good, felt solid. Didn't feel like they were stripping on the way that going in. You can definitely tell when your bolts are going to strip as they go in. If you put it in the hole and you don't even get more than a full turn to 2 turns, more than likely it's going in crooked, or there is definitely thread damage going on. So you can either clean it up with a thread chaser, but next we are going to wire up the front end of the starter. So with that being said, you can see here, once my hand gets out of the way, okay, as you see here on this design of starter, you got a top post and a bottom post. But what you'll have is you're going to have your power wire coming from your battery going to the top. Same with the wire going to the alternator and getting your power there, also going to that top post of your starter. That bottom post is to be left alone, and then you have your option on the left or the right to run the infamous purple wire, or basically your ignition wire. So when you hit the key, that will jump the lead from the top to the bottom to spin, and also to send out the armature of the starter. So this particular design runs that way. There are some others that are not. So anyways, check it, read your instructions on your starter in your particular application. All right, so we got the power hooked back up to the battery. Down here in the starter, we have that hooked up. And I also saw on my part 1 video that I did have one of the plug wires unhooked, so I'll plug that back in. So with the excitement of the starter and feeling pretty solid about how it was hooked up, now we're gonna go hit the key and give her a crank. See how she sounds. So To me, that's a win in my book. So, didn't hear any grinding. Sounds like we're getting a really good engage and disengage. So we'll just climb under there and make sure that that armature of the starter isn't staying hung up. All right, so as we can see, that armature pin there, right up here, it's a little bit blurry because it wants to keep focusing on the flywheel. But up here, you can see that it is pushed back and it's not staying engaged. And even on the flywheel teeth, you can also engage. I know it's a little upside down, but you can see how it is not getting gnarled up by the starter. So, woo! Let's hear it for that win on the helicoil repair. Doesn't seem to be running any issues, so we're gonna get it down, take it out for a burn, and see what happens. Hopefully, it stays solid and good from there. Later.